Game on. Kind of nervous.
Oh, welcome back.
I thought I showed you how to do 11.
Are you gonna make this like some cool like intro music to your thing? Some intro song to your thing?
Didn't I show you how to do this one?
Right now we're going over 11.
Yeah, you showed.
So a lot of these are just recognizing patterns, recognizing situations. Like on this one, I recognize, hey, there's a couple of them that are to the third power. And then when you see a squared, 2ab, b squared, that should look familiar.
Yeah.
Or x squared, 2xy, y squared.
Yeah, it's just the regular.
Like, oh, hey, that can factor that. That's just regular factoring. So that's why I was like, hey, let's put those together. Negative a squared plus 2ab minus b squared. And then put those together plus a to the third minus b to the third. And group.
Wait, hold on.
Don't you have to group that pause?
What?
It already is followed.
Yeah, I know.
Because now that's factorable. You could pull a negative 1 to make it easier.
And then that one's the difference of two cubes.
I like to do that. And then I'll put it back in later. But so right now it's just A and A, B and B. Multiply to 1, add to negative 2 is negative 1, negative 1, right?
Yeah. What order do they go in?
So there's that one. And then over here, that's...
Just go a minus b squared.
What?
A minus
Oh,
B.
yeah, you could...
A squared.
Okay,
Is that okay to do?
yeah.
Okay.
But then you're gonna go further anyway, so it's not gonna matter. Because over here we got plus, and then this is difference of cubes. So you got the whole A, B,
So,
A squared, A, B, B squared. So, same, opposite, always positive. That's nice. I'm going to use that. Thank you, Simon P.S. Standard.
It's funny how many names we make up for him.
So then, we got this. But we can go further. Do you see it, Henry?
yes.
What do they have in common? By they, do you even see what I mean by they?
The two terms?
So there's two terms. There's this term and this term, separated by an addition sign. What do they have in common?
A minus B.
A minus B. So we're going to pull out an A minus B. A minus B times what gives me that?
A plus B?
Negative 1 minus B. Because it's an A minus B times A minus B squared.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Plus, well, that's A minus, so it's just this part, right?
Yeah.
A squared plus AB plus B squared.
Okay.
Now I can just distribute that negative 1 and combine like terms inside there.
We can't
Yeah.
factor out the other,
What else?
that end of it. The a squared plus ab plus b squared.
That's the difference of two cubes. That's already been factored.
That cannot be factored further. There's nothing
Then
that
it had to be a
multiplies to
positive
1
two.
that adds to positive 1. So we just got negative A plus B plus A squared plus AB plus B. Actually, there are no like terms. AB, A squared, AB, B squared. So it's just that times A minus B.
And that's how it's done, huh?
How much b times
Did you say by
Nice.
How much time would that take on, say, a quiz?
As much time
2 minutes.
as this stuff.
2 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
That's a good joke.
These next 5 problems are all upper level problems where I'd only give you 1 or 2 of them.
Okay.
12 you should have got, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 13, this was the one that took me the longest to figure out.
Did you finally figure it out?
Yes.
What kind of question is that?
How often does it go?
Did you actually do it in your head, or like work it out, or did you look it up?
I did not look it up.
He just figured it out.
Just figured it out. I was like, okay, It's not just regular factoring, because we tried, that's what I see right at first. I look at that and I'm like, oh, regular factoring. X to the fourth, x squared, y to the fourth. So it's just going to be x squared, y squared, y squared.
Yep.
Right?
That's what.
That would make sense,
And then 4 and 4, but you can't.
but there's nothing that multiplies to 16 that adds to negative 1.
Nope.
Can't do it. I glanced in the back, I noticed there was an answer. It didn't say not factorable. And I was like, okay, I don't want to know the answer, now I'm going to figure this out. So I was like, well, how in the world are we going to get it? I tried grouping some stuff. I think I showed you guys that on the board. Nothing was happening. So then I was like, well, there has to be something else. So I was like,
Hey, I have a question. Could you just pull out a square, like put parentheses, and then put blah 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 to the squared, and then that make it easier or no?
do what? Put
Like,
parentheses.
this common factor, just square.
Yeah, and then pull out just the
He already
squared.
tried that.
You already tried that?
Squared. You
Yeah,
have to
like,
do
you
x.
see how everything has an exponent? So I'm saying take out the.
Yeah, but you have to have a base with it.
Oh,
One
I see.
squared.
An x or a 1 squared is just 1. Sure, they all have a 1 in common. That's not going to change anything. But, good ideas. So I was like, well, I know, I'm almost positive, it's got to be x squared and x squared, right?
Yeah.
It has to be that. There's nothing else that it could possibly be. And I was like, well, the back has to be y squared and y squared, because the last thing I do is y squared times y
But there's
squared.
stuff in the middle.
But there's probably crap in the middle now. And I was like, so what would make sense? What's going to go in the middle that would give me x squared, y squared? And I thought, well, heck, I'm guessing and checking. Let's throw an xy in the middle. Okay?
I'm with you.
With me?
Okay.
I'm with
But then I was like, okay, but if I do that, I have x squared times x squared gives me x to the fourth. Okay, cool. I'm not going to mess with that anymore. I'm just going to focus on this middle. X squared times xy is x to the third y, right?
Yeah.
Is there another place that I'm going to get an x to the third y?
Yeah.
When I do this xy times this x squared, I'll get another x to the third y, right?
Yeah.
So I figured one better be positive and one better be negative.
Okay.
Okay.
I see how you
See
did
where I'm
that.
going with this?
Okay.
Like,
That's funny, how-
Go.
I was like, okay, but probably not done, so let's keep going. X squared times y squared, hey, there's an xy squared, x squared, y squared, that's nice.
Yep.
And then I was like, okay, come in here, we already talked about that one. There's another x squared, y squared.
There's two of them.
But then there's this xy to the third. That's okay, look, 'cause that's positive. And I'm going to get another one right here, xy to the third.
So
That's,
that one has
I've
to
already.
be-
So I was like, these better, if I put numbers in front of these, they better be the same number. Meaning, I don't want to put a 4 in front of this one and a 3 in front of this one,
Yeah.
because then they won't cancel each other out, right?
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, those have to be the same number. And I was like, I know my y squared back here has to multiply to 16. So I was like, logically, let's just go 4 and 4, because I doubt it's 2 and 1. Or this was just guessing and checking. So I was like, let's make it positive 4 and positive 4. Okay?
Alright.
Well, then I just went through and I figured out all the coefficients for these. I was like, okay, I'd have x to the fourth. Cool, I don't need to mess with that. I would have negative x to the third y. And then I would have 4x squared y squared. Right? Multiplying out the first ones. Then I would have x to the third y positive. That's okay, good. So those are going to go away. And then I would have negative x squared y squared. And then I would have 4xy to the thirds. Okay?
Okay.
And then I did this one. That's positive 4x squared y squared. And then this one is negative 4xy to the third.
So that cancels out.
And then I have my and then my back is correct. I know that is. I was like, hey, those cancel out. That's good. Those cancel out. That's good. But look at my xy squareds. I have 4h minus 1. I have 7xy squared.
It's not the one you're looking for.
That's not what I was looking for. So I was like, well, how can I change that to make it be what I was looking for? I was like, well, that's 4, 4, that's 8. What if I put a 9 right there?
Yeah, but how
If that one could be a 9, then I would have negative 9 plus 8.
How
and that
would you
could-
get that to be
Well, I was like, okay, well, where'd that one come from?
A 3.
That one came from right here. if I put a 3 and a 3, those are still gonna cancel. I'm gonna have a 9 there, and those are still gonna cancel. They're gonna be 12s.
Dude, you are a goat.
And that's the answer. Now how to
I don't even.
how to make you get to that, I have no idea. I don't know. But I know how to figure it out for myself.
Could you factor out those other two things even further?
Huh?
Could you factor out those two things even for just even further?
Oh, I didn't even try. I don't know.
No,
That's the first.
Add to 4, or
The second one will be probably.
2 and 1, 2 and 2 and 4 and 1.
First one.
4, negative 4 and 1 though, but then it'd be negative. I don't think so. So that'd be 4 and 1 or 2. No. Good call though. You should look for that. So
Even
that
after you
was
did all
that was by far the hardest one. I was like, the only way I could figure it out was to just sit there and figure it out, and doing a lot of guessing and checking.
More than negative
How long did it take you?
Oh, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Oh.
Not very long.
He's like, yeah, it only took me 10 minutes.
14 was not as bad.
10 minutes.
How long it took you?
Are you sure?
It's still a thought process that would take years.
Did you guys do key terms?
I feel like we're unlocking secrets to the universe.
We are. Look at that.
No, I don't.
What do you see? Do you see anything that looks familiar?
Everything
Yeah.
to the right of the one.
Everything to the right of the 1. M squared, mn, n squared. Hey, that looks like just regular factoring, right? That's what I thought. So I rewrote it as 1 plus, and then put, I like alphabetical order.
Wait, one.
So, and
But then I was like, hey, that sucks to do negative, so why don't I just do 1 minus, and then make them all positive?
nice, I see where you're going. Oh, hey, yeah, that's easy right there.
Three.
And then that's easy, right?
M,
Yeah.
M,
Okay, do it.
3, 3.
Okay,
Okay, do it.
done.
3 and
Finish the problem.
Okay.
Bro, this is simple math.
It's simple economics.
Yeah. Should have got m plus 3, m plus 3.
Yeah, but then we have to go more.
M plus 3,
1
n,
minus m plus 3
m
squared.
plus 3, n.
No,
Don't forget
because
the n.
1 is a
Yeah, I was
square and that's a square.
thinking,
So
yeah.
it's
And then, hey, that's m plus 3n squared.
since
And
there's
then you should have been like, oh, hey, it's
Difference
difference of 2 squares.
Wait.
yeah, 1's a square.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. That's a square, that's a square.
So wait, so then what's negative? The m plus 3n or the
So
1?
you go, I
That's
would do
a-
brackets 1 and 1 plus minus n plus 3n
There's not enough
n plus 3n.
Right.
And there's your answer. Or I guess you could go 1 plus m plus 3
Oh, okay.
minus m minus 3. There's your final answer. That's a good one. That's a good test level question. That last one, I don't know if I'm going to give you anything like that. That's crazy.
This one's 16?
13.
Oh,
Extra credit?
We'll try some more. We'll see how it goes. Maybe you guys will catch on. Maybe I'll develop a faster way to
yeah.
teach you.
Maybe we'll just be at the level of a math teacher where
I was almost ready to go ask Schubert if he knew, and then I figured it out.
right, because that'd be
Because like one of you said, you're like, who do you ask for help? I'm like, I don't know.
I've never had this problem before.
Really, I can either just look in the book and figure it out,
I
or
asked the intro.
Google it. But I tried both of those things, and neither one of those worked.
But you saw that there was an answer in the book.
I did, but I wanted to know how to get to the answer.
For
Just
yourself.
the answer.
But wouldn't you have figured out if you would have had the answer?
Hey.
Backwards?
Okay,
Yeah, like,
15.
Go backwards?
Stupid.
But factoring, I mean, like if I just showed you that as the answer, it doesn't tell you to group those.
No, I mean, like you could have just told us the process just how to do
Oh,
it.
I don't know.
Okay,
15.
I know how to start this one. I don't know what to do.
Oh, this one's easy.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Drop out later.
Dude, it's not easy.
GCF it.
This is easy
Oh, it
compared
is easy.
to.
I'm retarded.
Yeah. GCF it.
So you pull out 3x to the end.
3x to the n, yes.
That's it.
3x to the n. So that's 1x to the 2n minus 1x to the n, y to the n minus 2 y to the 2n.
And then so it's just.
Hey, it's x squared, xy, y squared.
So
That
it's
should
2
look
and negative
familiar.
1.
If I said that at the beginning of class and you're like, a squared, ab squared, that doesn't sound familiar. Does it sound familiar now?
Yeah, it's negative 2 and 1.
It's regular factoring. X to the n,
Plus.
x to the n. What oh, y to the n, y to the n.
Negative 2 and 1.
Subtract 2 plus 1.
Negative 2 plus 1.
I am
x
hard.
to the
I
n.
don't know why I
shown
didn't figure that out.
You don't, that's the only one I saw that got me.
See, that one wasn't bad.
Like Clint said, softball. Big one for this
I
pattern.
did not take yours first, I put the 1.
I love you, show me how you put back in the course of the 1 million.
How do we do 16?
Oh, 16 sucked.
Did you guys do right? Did you actually get it?
A, B, C, A, A, B, A, C.
This was another one that took a very long time.
That's a bunch of target.
You just gotta group it, right?
It's very similar to 13 of, I'm just going to sit here and think about it until I figure it out.
I wish most problems you could just think about and then they would magically solve themselves.
So there's no GCF.
Nope.
There's,
All different
and then I tried all different kinds of grouping yesterday. Some of us tried it, right? We were grouping all kinds of crap. We were like, hey, if we could just get rid of that squared, this would be a really easy problem. But it didn't work out.
Nope.
So then I was like, well, if you can't group it and there's no GCF, it's like, it must just be like regular, like factoring.
Yeah, it's just regular factoring.
We're just going to have A, no, really, it works.
You got
B
it.
and C, and then A, B, and C, and figure it out.
That takes forever though.
Oh, I didn't do it that way.
I'm not gonna do it that way.
Well, A and A is A squared, so we got one done.
So it's 2. And then C is 2.
C,
There's 2.
probably 2 and 2 would be my first guess.
Oh,
You could do 4 and 1. But let's try 2 and 2. I don't remember. I'm not going to the answer. This is fun. I don't remember the answer, so let's try 2 and 2. And then for the B's, what do you want to try? 3 and 3?
3.
Might as well try 3 and 3,
Why?
because that's 9B squared.
Oh, I knew that.
For free talk, please, man.
And so then I was like, A times A is A squared. I don't write that one. I got a 3AB. I got a times 2C is 2AC. Then 3AB.
Oh, the numbers.
Then
The letters.
9B squared. I'm already sure about that one, so I'm not going to write it down. And then 6BC. So I write the ones together that go together. Then I come here, 2AC. And then come here, 6BC. And then we know 4C squared is right. So if I do all positives, I'd have 6AB. Ooh, I need negative 6AB. So what should I do?
Make
What
one
is
negative.
Make them both negative.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So where did my 3 ABs come from?
Good question.
Between those two.
3B times A. So that needs to be negative. And then A times that needs to be negative.
No, because then it'd be
Positive
nope,
9B
you're right.
squared
Yep,
still.
Yep.
My ACs were 4. Hey, that's what I wanted. My BCs were negative 12, so I need to make both of those negative. Right?
Wait,
The
what?
negative and the negative is a positive.
Where did my BCs come from? 3B times 2C. Hey, negative 3 times 2 is negative 6.
So just put positives.
So that should be positive. And negative 3B times 2C there, that should be positive.
So it's 2 minus
So-
3 by 2c squared.
It's A minus 3B plus
It's
2C
A
squared.
minus 3B plus 2C squared.
Yeah.
So what did I write yesterday? Oh man, this is,
DJ Escoda. Coolish.
yeah. Just didn't write it that way.
We
So these ones like this, I don't know.
But we're probably gonna get those on the test.
I don't know if, I don't know that there exists like a good, easy way to do it besides just figuring it out. Just like I did. Like, I don't know that. And I'm curious to know if there is, so if any of you know anyone who knows,
One?
Juan, maybe Juan, I don't
For
know.
what?
You can night. Go on to
Do which
YouTube
one?
and,
8?
Okay.
GCF. Did you do that? Yeah. So now let's do more.
Let us go.
Can I go on YouTube?
We're going to solve quadratic equations and equations that behave like quadratics but aren't. A quadratic is defined as like x squared plus x plus ax squared plus bx plus c, right? It's got an x squared in it. But there are some, so I'm just going to do some examples of solving equations. I don't know how you want to label this.
You have 29 subscribers now.
Solving
Almost 30.
quadratic like equations. We'll see why I put quadratic like. Because I have to be proper and I can't call them quadratics because it'll make me feel bad as a math teacher. But you solve them the same way. So for example, x to the 4th minus 5x squared plus 4 equals 0. How do you think? Should have just started with a quadratic, I guess. But that looks just like it other than...
You factor it, right?
Yeah, you factor it, right?
Because it's equal to 0.
It's already equal to 0. We just factor it and use the zero product property. Which is, if you have two numbers multiplied together and they equal 0, if you make one of them equals 0, then it's true.
What?
Here, okay.
Yeah, sure.
X squared minus 3x minus 18 equals 0. Solve it. Oh, hey, we just factor it. Yeah, you factor it. X minus 6.
So this is just x.
X plus 3 equals 0. The zero product property states that if I have two nope, that's incorrect. That's two numbers multiplied together. That's a number, right?
Yep.
If I say x is 5, we have two different numbers there, don't we? Well, if I multiply two numbers together and they equal 0, what's one of the numbers have to be?
0.
0. Therefore, if either one of these is 0, doesn't my equation become true?
Yes.
Therefore, I make each one equal to 0.
Oh, that makes so much
and
sense why there's
solve
two
for
answers.
x.
Yeah, but we do that anyway. I
And
didn't know I
now
just had that fancy name.
I have well, that's what it is.
Okay.
That's why you do that.
It's just
Because-
drilled in my brain.
Because if either one is 0, then it's true, so you set them both equal to 0.
Yeah.
See, when you learn that in Algebra 1, you just do it and you don't know why. I want to kind of tell you why.
Okay.
It's that times that, yeah. Okay.
now
So that's also why if this was equal to 10, you can't just factor it and set each one equal to 10, because that doesn't make sense. You can't have a number times another number equal 10 and say, well, this one's equal to 10 and that one's equal to 10. No. Who says the other one's 1? You can't. You have to have 10 and 1. 0 is special because two numbers multiplied together that equal 0, one of them has to be 0. That's the only number you can say that for. If you say, oh, you have two numbers together and it equals 4, what's one of them have to be? Could be anything. Could be anything. There's infinitely many answers. You can do 1/2 times 8. You get into fractions, there becomes infinitely many answers.
That's why you have to.
So that's why it has to be equal to 0. Long story short. Get it equal to 0. So here, factor it, right? X squared, what is that? Minus 4 minus 1?
Yeah. But then there's difference in squares. Then there's difference in squares.
Yeah.
Theoretically, you could stop there and with the factoring and still get the right answer. But you'll probably forget if you don't keep factoring. Here's what I mean. If you keep factoring, you got x plus 2 times x minus 2 times x plus 1 times x minus 1 equals 0, right?
Well, I guess when you do it that way, you're okay. Never mind. Just continue.
So what are your answers?
-1, 1, positive 2, -2.
Yeah. X equals plus or minus 1 and plus or minus 2. You have 4 answers. Because if x is any of those numbers, like if x is 2, if I plug in 2 for all my x's, do I get 0?
Yes.
Yeah, because that one's 0 and I don't care what the rest are. 0 times anything is 0.
Oh my god.
Ooh. Groundbreaking stuff here, huh? Like I was just saying, if you forgot to factor further, you could have still got the right answer. Because if you set x squared minus 4 equal to 0, add 4, x squared equals 4, how do I finish?
Square root.
Square root it, and when I square root it, when I have x squared equals 4 and I square root it,
Plus and minus 2.
plus 4 minus 2. Right? Remember that?
Yeah,
Because
I'll
negative
prefer
2
just to factor it, because I'll forget that.
Yeah, but if you don't factor it, you'll probably forget the plus or minus. Most
So-
people would.
what
I
you-
sometimes forget it.
So what you're saying is remember to do it the easy way.
Yes,
Okay.
that would be better. But yeah, these are we're just going to solve these kinds of equations. Here, try none of them. Are we ready to kick it up a notch, or do you want to just stay?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, no, softball it up.
Okay, one notch, just barely harder.
I know, I'm showing you, you just solved it.
Come off.
That looks one notch harder.
That
Hopefully it doesn't end up being. Oh, that might end up being a lot of notches harder.
Way to go. Way to
Don't even
go.
try. Wait.
Wait, is that what?
You can figure out what multiplies to 216 that adds to 19.
Yeah, totally.
Totally.
The numbers
You're
are
right.
the numbers are going to be 19 apart.
It's 1 and 19.
That helps.
No.
Is it 19 a prime number? No, it's not.
But you're adding to 19. You're multiplying. Because you better get everything to 0 first, right? Or get it
Wait,
equal
so
to
then which one goes first? 19 z to the third would go first,
It's
right?
negative 19 though.
Yeah.
It would still go
it,
first, yes?
Minus it. That's 0, so you got z to the 6.
Wait, what's back to nothing. Wait.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
But I don't really want to do
Okay,
math.
now we've got
You got z to the third, z to the third. What multiplies to 216?
and adds to 19.
Well,
Negative 19.
2 and 108 do, but those are way too far apart.
Yeah.
3 and...
Does 3, 6, 7, 8, 9? 3 does go into it. But they're still going to be too far apart.
Good job, Clay.
We got to go to the mid. You know what I mean by too far
Yeah,
apart?
yeah.
Because we're gonna, so we got to move to the middle. So 20 times
It's 8 and 27.
8, 27.
Attaboy.
Ah, boy. 160 and 63 is 2. No. Oh, 56. Yeah, 160 and 56, 216. 8, 27. Ah, boy. Negative 27 plus 8. I said one notch harder. This just got ugly.
Because then the difference is.
Yeah, it's the difference.
Well,
difference
That's
of 2
not
cubes
cubes,
and the addition of 2 cubes.
okay. So
But you don't really need to do that.
do you need to do that?
No.
No.
Just third root both sides.
Just go like
Oh, wow,
this.
retard. Yep.
Z to the third equals 27, so
Yep.
Z equals 3. Ding. Oh. That was easier.
But it also
Z to the
equals...
third equals
No,
negative
no,
8.
third root.
What's
It's
the
gonna be that
third root of negative 8?
You mean positive 8?
Negative 2.
You mean positive 8?
No.
No, you subtract 8, right?
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
it equals
yeah.
0.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but then which one is true? Because then we have to plug it in.
They both will be. But are there other answers is the question I'm thinking.
No. Those are the answers right there.
Probably, I would assume so since your question.
I think we're missing answers.
I think...
You know how I know? Did you ever learn
Because there's
that
only 2.
when you've got like a 6th power, there's a possibility of having 6 answers?
Yes.
But those are the 6 answers.
When we had the 4th power, we got 4 answers.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you will get 6 answers, but there
There's a-
could
There's
be
the
6
6
answers.
answers.
You need to stop.
That's only 2 answers.
But
Break it down to another one.
Oh, the third
Yeah.
root. So I was just wondering. I don't know if this is going to happen. That's what I got to this class. I can just get up here and explore my mathematical feelings. You guys will listen. If I do this crap in algebra, they'll be like, "Well, I didn't pay attention to this." But okay. Anyway, so let's factor
Dash 3, Z minus 3.
z
Minus.
3 z squared 3z 9 same opposite always positive, right? So we do get z equals 3 out of this if we set this equal to 0. But what if we set this equal to 0? Do we get another answer?
No, you get 3.
I guess if I bet we're gonna get a.
You get a negative 3.
That's not factorable. But is there another way to solve a quadratic equation? Ooh, negative 3 plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4a c all over 2a.
I don't know how you can do that after learning the length.
Negative 3 plus or minus 9 minus 36 over 2, so that's negative 3 plus or minus square root of negative 25 over 2.
We have to do I.
Remember how to do
We
that?
have to do I.
Yep. Negative 3
5i.
plus or minus 5i over 2, so we have negative 3 halves plus or minus 5 halves I. There's 2 of my other answers.
Why does I exist? He's like,
So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 answers. Guess what? There's 2 more answers.
Just one notch, more like a thumb.
I thought of that right after I wrote it. I was like, oh crap, this could actually get really ugly.
It's just one notch harder.
It depends. If I asked the question, if I said, find only the real roots or find only the real
It would be
answers,
that one.
it would have been easy, we would have been done. However, in this book, the directions do say, some equations will have complex roots.
And that's
So, really, we needed to, but you get the point of how to solve these, right?
yeah, let's move on.
It's all factoring, or do you remember the quadratic formula? You will need to. I just rattled that off like nothing, but I assumed you got that down, Juliana?
You are still recording.
Yes.
Okay.
For AC.
Memorize.
Quadratic formula?
Okay.
Well,
okay.
Easiest homework ever. Tomorrow it'll get hard again, don't worry.
Oh yeah.
I'll bust out more. We'll go a notch harder. And then No, really though. We're going a notch harder tomorrow. We're doing these same things, same equation. I'll give you a worksheet and we're just gonna go.